Hi everyone and welcome to another video. In today's video I'm gonna show you how you can reuse these jars with this unusable wax inside of them and turn them into these clean reusable jars, and I'm also gonna show you what you can do with that unusable wax inside of them. If it's something that you want to know, leave a like and subscribe and let's get into the video. Firstly, the things that you will need is a microfiber cloth to clean the jars later. Then some rubbing alcohol. I put mine in this spray bottle because it's easier for me to use. A pot filled with water on a hot plate or on your gas stove, but please do not put any jars directly on top of the stove or the hot plate. And then you will need some kitchen rolls. I didn't have kitchen rolls, I ran out, so I'm using toilet papers, but I recommend kitchen rolls instead. And lastly, you will need some type of container to pour the wax in. I have two types of containers. If you want to dispose of the wax completely, you will use a solo cup, let it cool and throw it away in the bin. But if you want to, let's say, reuse the wax for maybe trying out a mold, just use any type of plastic container, remelt it and use it. These are actually my testing jars, so I decided to make this video because maybe someone wants to know how to reuse them, how to clean this jar that looks horrific right now. So to make our lives easier, we're going to be removing any labels on the jars and just pop them right into the double boiler method. And I highly suggest to not overfill your pot with water, because when you put the jars in, the water is gonna rise and you don't want to burn your fingers or the water to get into the jars. Let your wax melt. It doesn't have to be 100% melted, but then you're gonna need to prepare your container and put on some heat resistant gloves. You need to be really careful because the jars are very hot. You're gonna pour the wax into the container. I suggest you take another paper towel or kitchen towel to hold the jar underneath while you're pouring. I am pouring all the wax into the same container because, as I said before, these were my testing jars and the fragrance has completely evaporated, so I'm not gonna be reusing this wax anymore. I'm just gonna let it cool in the solo cup and just throw it in the bin. Now that the jars are fairly warm, we're gonna remove the wicks inside of them because the glue has completely melted from the heat. It is really easy to do that right now. And you have to be somewhat fast with this process of removing the wick, because as you can see here, I had to put a little push to remove this one because the glue has cooled off a little bit, because it was the last jar that I was cleaning. Now you're gonna take some paper towels. Again, do not use toilet paper because it is softer and it crumbles a little bit, and the kitchen roll, it is more durable and it removes more wax efficiently. So take your time doing that while the jars are warm, because it's gonna make your life easier later when it completely cools down and you don't want to remelt again. But even if it comes to that point again, you can take a heat gun and run it over and just with a paper towel just remove any excess wax on the jars. This step is optional because we will clean the jars with rubbing alcohol in the end when they are cool, but because I want to clean my jars well, I'm gonna do it while they are warm as well. And you're gonna see that the jars are kind of foggy, and that's because they are still warm. But as soon as they cool down and we clean them with the microfiber cloth and the rubbing alcohol, they are gonna be just like new. Of course, don't forget to clean the lids inside out as well. And as for the remaining wax that we have, as we said, you can reuse it by pouring it into new molds that you have, or if it's completely unusable, just throw it away in the bin and never in the sink. And that's the video, you guys. I hope you enjoyed watching it. I hope you learned something. And if you did, don't forget to leave a like in this video and subscribe for more videos. And I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye!